So let's take a look at what we got here. So we're going to do an example where let's say that we always know that the area equals the volume. That's not always going to be true, but let's say that we were given that information. So if I'm given two different measurements are going to be true of each other, two different formulas. So if A is equal to V, area equal to volume, then what we're going to do is we're going to set both formulas equal to each other. Then I'm going to replace the values we are given and solve for the variable. Okay, so there's kind of three steps here. Number one, we need to figure out the formulas. So we're going to set both of the formulas equal to each other. Step number two, we're going to replace the values that were given. And then step number three, we're going to actually solve for the variable. So here in this problem, we have x as our variable. So go ahead and try and draw this because that's going to help you. And then let's go and do that first step. So the first step, in order to set the formulas equal to each other, I need to know what the formulas are. So if you look this up, or you use the sheet that you were given in class, you should be able to know that if volume equals surface area, we're going to check out what the volume is first. So volume of a rectangular prism, which is what this is going to be length times width times height. That's a pretty easy formula, right? This times this times this. However, surface area is a little bit more complicated. Surface area is going to be 2 times, and in parentheses, there's also another way you can write this too. You could have the 2 distributed to each piece in the inside. Either way, it doesn't matter. So you have length times width plus length times height plus width times height. So just making sure you're taking all different combinations of 2 and putting them together, okay? All right, so now that we know that, and we know that volume and surface area are the same, we can now set both of these formulas equal to each other, because that's what we were told, right? So we're going to replace volume with the formula for volume, okay? And we're going to replace surface area with the formula for surface area. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, if volume equals A, or V equals A, then we take volume and set it equal to surface area, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and simplify this first, okay? Or actually, sorry, not simplify first. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to do the replacing that I talked about before. So I'm going to set each of these to a different value. Let's say that this is the length, so length equals L, or L equals 11. This is the width, so W equals 3, and this is the height, so height equals X, okay? So let's go ahead and replace everything with that. So every time we see an L, so here's the L, I'm replacing it with 11. W I'm replacing with 3. H I'm replacing with X. So I went ahead and did that for both sides. So all this got replaced, all these pieces got replaced. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify everything I can first, okay? So I know what 11 times 3 is, so I'm going to go ahead and simplify that to 33. That's the same thing over here. I'm going to simplify it to 33x, okay? And then we're going to distribute, right? So this 33x comes down here. 2 times 33 makes 66. 2 times 11x makes 22x. 2 times 3x makes 6x, okay? Now that we've used the distributive method, we're going to do the next thing, which notice I have my list off to the side here, right? So we've distributed, and now we're going to combine like terms, okay? So we're going to combine like terms. We have 22x and 6x that need to go together. So now the problem looks like this. And now this is starting to look a lot like the problems we were doing before. Subtract 28x from both sides, which gives me 5x equals 66. And then divide both sides by 5, which gives me an answer of 13.2 inches. Or you could get 13 and 1/5 inch, right? So either way, that would work. But that's the answer to this one. So that's how you solve these types of problems. That's it for 1.3.